Welcome to 6th grade math. This is lesson 165. We are looking at pages 297 and 298. We're measuring electricity today. But before we get started with that, you do have a speed drill, so I'm going to do some review. 42 divided by 6, 7. 40 divided by 5, 8. 18 divided by 3, 6. 54 divided by 6, 9. 15 divided by 5, 3. 30 divided by 5, 6. Go back to the beginning. 42 divided by 6, 7, 8, 6, 9, 3, and 6. Very good. All right. So some of our formulas. What is the formula for simple interest? I equals PRT, principal times rate times time. Very good. What about area of a circle? A equals pi r squared, right? Very good. Perimeter of a parallelogram. P equals 2 times B times 2 times H. Or you can do 2 times L plus 2 times W. Very good. Circumference of a circle using diameter. C equals pi times D. Very good. Area of a triangle. A equals 1/2 times B times H. Circumference of a circle using radius. C equals 2 pi r. What about Fahrenheit to Celsius? Remember, Fahrenheit to Celsius, we start with C, right? C equals 5/9 times F minus 32 in parentheses. All right. Perimeter of a triangle. P equals A plus B plus C. Area of a parallelogram. A equals B times H, base times height, or L times W. Celsius to Fahrenheit. F equals 9/5 C plus 32. All right. Perimeter of a rectangle. P equals 2 times L plus 2 times W. Area of a square. A equals side times side or side squared. Area of a rectangle. A equals L times W. And perimeter of a square. P equals 4 times S. Very good. All right. You can pause and go take your speed drill. When you come back, we're going to look at electricity. All right. I hope you did well on that. One of the things that we are going to be looking at with electricity is that, you know, it's a necessary expense of most homes is the cost of electricity. Although gas can be used to power several appliances such as the clothes dryer and water heater, electricity is still needed to operate many items in homes, in most homes, and some have like a gas stove, and so gas can be powered from that, but usually it still does have electricity to the stove, but it's a different type. The cost of electricity is determined by the amount of electric power that is used. Electric power is sold by the kilowatt hour, which is 1,000 watts for 1 hour. All right, so we're going to do a little demonstration. It won't be as effective as if you were in the class, but we're going to do it anyway. Okay, so if I do this, I have cut off the electricity for just a couple seconds, right? That's what saving electricity is. Okay. So one kilowatt equals 1,000 watts, okay? Because remember our word or our metric word kilo means 1,000. And so 1 kilowatt is 1,000 watts. So that's one thing that we can know. So it's determined by the amount of electricity used. Power times time is what we do. Electric energy is sold by the kilowatt hour, kWhr, which is 1,000 watts for 1 hour. The charge per kilowatt hour varies with different companies. United States, an average cost per kilowatt hour is around 11 cents, okay? So the example here, find the cost to burn a 75 watt light bulb for 3 days without turning it off at the cost of 9.5 cents per kilowatt hour, okay? So here's what we're gonna be doing. First of all, we need to know how many hours 3 days is, okay? So how many hours is 1 day? 24. We're gonna multiply by 3. 12 carry the 1, 72. So 72 hours is the hours that this would be. 72 hours is for 3 days, and then 75 watt light bulbs. So we're going to multiply 72 times 75. Okay? Carry the 1, 36, the 0, 14, carry the 1, 50. All right, so 5,400, but this does not tell us how much we're getting charged yet, because this just tells us how many kilowatt hours, how many watt hours, how many watt hours. This is how many watt hours, because 75 was in watts, right? So now we need to know how many kilowatt hours. We're gonna put 5,400, and you can see this in your example, so you can follow along. We put it over 1,000, and we're going to take off those zeros. So we have 54 over 10. We need to turn this into a decimal. So 54 over 10, remember with our decimal, we can do 5 and 4 tenths, right? So 5.4, and this is kilowatt hours, okay? Make sure you can look at that. Now we have kilowatt hours, now we can multiply by our cents. It's 9.5 cents to for the per kilowatt hour, and we change it, we move our decimal place 2 places to get 0.95, okay? So we'll multiply this. 0.095 times 5.4, okay? So that, you see that on your page, we'll multiply this, we get 380, put a 0 there, 25, carry the 2, 47. Okay, add that up, we have a 0 down there, 13, 11, 51. Okay, so then we have to put our decimal. How many decimal places? 1, 2, 3, 4, which means it goes right there. We round up the cents, so 51. 51 cents, okay? So we round to the nearest cent. So it's 51 cents. It would cost 51 cents to run this light bulb for 3 days straight. Okay? That's not a whole lot, but if you have, 15 light bulbs in your house with that, and you run them all for 3 days straight, you multiply 15 times 51, and then your bill is much higher. Well, you do, if in your house there was a light that stayed on all the time, then it could cost you, you know, 20, 30, maybe $40 a month to have it running all that time. So it may not be that much, depends on all of the wattage. But on this, so what you're gonna do, you're gonna take this space at the bottom, and I'll help you set up the first one for this. So it gives you the toaster, 600 watts. Time used is 3 hours. We need the kilowatt hours. So you're gonna multiply 600 times 3. Whatever you get for 600 times 3, you're gonna divide by 1,000. Put it over 1,000. Do what we did here. Get it down to 2 digits, and then you'll have your like 5.4. You'll have a similar one, and you put that under your kilowatt hours. The cost per kilowatt hour is 13 cents there. So you're gonna multiply your kilowatt hours that you get when you divide by 1,000, like we did here, and put it over 1,000 and break it down. You're gonna multiply 0.13 times your kilowatt hours. And then when you get your answer, you're gonna round it to the nearest cent. So you're gonna need 2 places past the decimal that you will be your, the cents. And so just round it to the nearest cent, and that'll be how much it cost, okay? So some of these will be very, very little. Some of them will be a little bit more, but they're all, none of your numbers should be over $4, okay? None of your numbers should be over $4. Most of them will be cents though, instead of, and not have any dollars. So just to review, to change the cents to dollars, move the decimal point 2 places. When it's marked as cents, it doesn't actually have, sorry, I don't have that. I thought I had one up there, so. Oh, it was 9.5, right? And it was marked cents. So it's kind of, this cent sign is like a percent sign, okay? It doesn't show you, when we have the cent sign, it's without it's not with the dollar. So we either have a cent sign or a dollar, and usually you don't have a decimal with the cent sign unless it's like 9.5, right? So then you just move this 2 places to get what you're multiplying, and then you take off the cent sign like we do with our percent, okay? So that's how to change that. If it's like 6 cents, okay, there's no visible decimal, so we start the decimal here, we move it 2 places, and it's there, right? And then it's 0.06, okay? So that's sort of, that's what you're looking for. Don't forget to drop the cent sign, and you could add the dollar sign. It's not, until you get the answer at the bottom, you want to make sure that it's on the answer, or that you put a cent sign on your answer. Just do that. Move the decimal to the left 2 places. That means we will have to annex a 0 before the 6. So we're adding that 0 before the 6. Add the dollar sign, drop the cent sign. To find the watts used, find the watts used by multiplying watts used per hour by number of hours used, okay? So if they give you days, you have to turn it into hours. If they give you weeks, you have to turn it into days first and then turn it into hours. That'll be easiest. Find the kilowatt hours used by dividing watt hours by 1,000. And then multiply kilowatt hours used by cost per kilowatt hour, change cents to a part of a dollar before multiplying, okay? That'll be the easiest to make sure that you have enough decimal places and that you know what the correct answer would be. All right, so you're gonna do the first page, all of that for this, turning it over on the second page. I'm gonna have you do all of those in section 2. In section 3, pick 2 of them. Section 4 in the review, pick 3. And then section 5, that's all one, so do that. And then there is a homework section on page 388 in the back of your book, lesson 165 to do, all right? I'll let you go to it and let me know if you need help on these, this measuring electricity, if that did not make complete sense for you. All right, we'll see you in the next lesson.